Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in soggy Southern California. It's gloomy and rainy here. And joining us out there is...
Hi, everyone. I'm Philippe, and I'm in Canewdon, Essex, England, at 9:30 in the evening.
We've got your weather. I don't know how that happened, but we've had a very wet winter, but as you folks know, Philippe is our international tequila jockey, and we have some really unusual ones that I've never done with you. I have had flavored tequilas before with the other TJs, but never with Philippe. This is a brand new one, folks. You may or may not have seen it. It's very big in the UK right now. Apparently, it's been stocked in several bars. It's called Mis Amigos. They recently, in March, this is April when we're recording this, in March, they came across the pond and they participated in the WSWA competition, which normally happens in Las Vegas. It's a big trade show. This time it happened, maybe they're having more than one. I'm not sure. I haven't really bothered to worry about that. But they were in Orlando, Florida, and apparently they won awards for their tequila, these are flavored tequila. Tonight, we're going to try the chocolate cream tequila. And it is made with real tequila. Now, the laws in the UK are a little bit different, but we're going to pop this baby open. We're going to pour it. We're going to taste it for those of you who are listening to us on the podcast. So that way you get an idea of what to expect if you're into flavored tequilas, which is a big deal right now. I'm going to pour mine in a Riedel glass. They have oh my, wow. The suggestions, the serving suggestions say you should pour this over ice. But right now, I think that when it comes to tequila creams, we do a lot of that with the RTDs, with the ready to drinks. With tequila creams, I like tasting mine at room temp. And then, we've had enough of these on ice where we can tell whether it's going to open up and be better for you. This is a 15 ABV, I believe. Is it 15?
Oh yeah, I've got 15% volume on this.
Yes, 15% volume. So technically it's a liqueur, which is awesome. Oh, look at that. Woo! Now I will say, yeah, that's perfect. You poured yours in a Guinness glass.
Nice. Not quite as a Chivas.
Oh, that Chivas. All right. Yeah, in this case, you can use a rocks glass. I'm using a Riedel because it's just kind of a nicer, they happen to be handy for me right now. And so it only takes a little bit. It was nice smell, really rich and creamy. This is, some of you who are into tequila liqueurs have probably had stuff like Agavero from Jose Cuervo. I believe Starbucks has one. Avion has a really good espresso chocolate, or excuse me, an espresso tequila liqueur, which we flipped over. It was awesome. And there are some even Sotols and Bacanoras that are a couple that we've had from Sonora Bacanora. They make delicious flavored Bacanoras that are just outstanding. So what are we getting? Just a lot of cream. There's a lot of and chocolate.
It's just chocolate and cream, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I can't smell any alcohol.
No.
It's just pure. What I do know, I'll throw in, is that the chocolate is from Mexico as well. They get all the ingredients, so apart from their strawberry one, which is from a place up the road from here. Right. And I'm assuming the dairy as well. But the main ingredients, like the chocolate, it's Mexican chocolate. It'll be Mexican coffee.
That explains
everything is Mexican.
See, again, this brand is coming from the UK, and they just want to start launching in the United States. There is a warning on the label for the UK that they are using dairy. So for those of you who are lactose intolerant, you may not want to try this. but my understanding is that now one of the owners came to talk to Philippe and dropped his samples off to him, and he told you the backstory. But before you tell the backstory, I want to just emphasize the tequila is being imported from Mexico as well. There's no number on the bottles. However, we do know where the tequila is coming from and what nom it is from, and we'll go through that. So it's, as far as I'm concerned, this is 100% blue agave Blanco tequila with the cream. And I guess the idea is they're exporting the tequila in from this distillery, and then they use the ingredients from where you are in the UK, right? Everything is sourced.
The tequila, the chocolate, the lime one that I've got here, that's all Mexican. The strawberry is from a place called Malden, which is, some restaurateurs might know of it because Malden's famous for its sea salt. It's just restaurants all over the world will use the salt from the Roman salt flats there. And that's basically it. The strawberries are from England. The lime, the chocolate, the coffee, everything else.
My mouth is watering. There's a very deep chocolatey smell that I'm very familiar with, because you do get it on some of the bacanoras and the sotols that are made with chocolate. They're obviously using Mexican chocolate. So here we go. I think we should dive in.
Salud.
Cheers. Oh my.
That's good, isn't it?
Well, you know what? I got the tequila on the flavor profile though. It's there.
It's coming out at the end of it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it like underlying on my palate. It's no mistaking that that's what it is, and that there's alcohol in it, because you can't smell it otherwise. The nose is just enticing.
The alcohol is later on in the flavor. You get coated with the chocolate and the cream, and it is literally like you've got a liqueur, a chocolate liqueur. Do you have them in the States? I've not seen them out there, but
yeah,
it's chocolate where it's filled up with the liqueur, and you put it in your mouth, the chocolate melts, and then you just get the alcohol. It's just like a melted one of those.
Like Swiss chocolates come that way. A lot of them, of course, that's a big deal now. They get, chocolates they have liqueur in them. These are really good, and it's good on the finish too, because on the finish you get that little bit of alcohol there. The kick comes through. So as we enjoy this, a little bit of the backstory. What happened? Because I know you had one of the owners came by, dropped it off to you. We had heard about them because we found them on Instagram, and the next thing we know is we're getting samples, and I didn't even know that they were going to come to the US until they let us know. But I don't know. First of all, let's find out where they told you that the distillery that they're getting this from is Destilería del Valle, which is the number what?
1146.
1146. All right. And I want to make sure that I believe that's what it is, and that's also known as Casa Maestri. And generally speaking, their blancos are excellent. The way they produce the blanco tequilas, usually it's a blend of highlands and lowlands, agave, use stone ovens. I believe they have autoclaves too. I'm not sure what operation they're using to make this tequila. I'd imagine they might use an autoclave for that purpose. But then, so what he told you was that all the ingredients are Mexican.
Yes,
but they're doing the blending in the UK. Is that right?
Yeah, they're making the end of line product over here. Everything is brought over. Everything is brought over.
Now the dairy would be local as well, correct?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I'm going to read you some of what's on our label, and as you can see, the labels they moved heaven and earth to get these samples to me, and so a lot of it, for not there's all kinds of warnings that this is only a sample. It's not for commercial use. The ones that we're going to get in the US are going to be a little bit different, obviously, because they have to pass the labeling and the cola and all that. They do say it's Hecho en Mexico, which is an incorrect spelling. Mexico, EU, and the UK. The company is called G&I Spirit Group, and they do recommend. This is the recommended. Well, that's the surgeon warning, but what they recommend is that you should have it on ice. And as most liqueurs like this, you know, the chocolate liqueurs, or whether it's a mezcal or a bacanora or a tequila, generally speaking, you either want it on ice or you want it in your coffee. You know, it's like, I don't even think that it would be necessary to actually add another shot of tequila if you had one, because you can really taste the tequila through here. It's actually quite well done.
I mean, the only thing I would add to that would be a block of ice.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, I wouldn't want it anymore. You've got enough flavour coming through. I mean, it's almost like you've got a really good quality chocolate ice cream, and you've stuck it in the cup and just let it melt in the sun for a bit.
Right.
It's just like that.
Yeah. It's like it belongs on an ice cream cone or a bowl or something, and throw sprinkles on it. I don't know. It's like, or better yet, pour this over your dessert. We just had a choco flan the other day. It's like, oh my God, this is awesome. This would be great for dessert pairing.
I was thinking about cornflakes.
Cornflakes, yeah, in your coffee. This is really celebratory. I'm impressed. I didn't know what to expect, because these guys are so new, and they they've moved heaven and earth to get these to me. But the one thing that they do recommend is that you pour this on ice. But I gotta tell you, if you're into tequila liqueurs, and I have several. I have some with cinnamon from Ceylon, and we've had tequilas infused with cumin and all kinds of really interesting ingredients. And it just shows me and the public how versatile a really well-made Blanco can be.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. There's no reason to get a diffuser tequila to make this kind of quality when you get real tequila and some real ingredients and come up with some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna go there. I think this chocolate cream is outstanding. Brand of Promise nominee right there.
It is pretty good, isn't it? I mean, it's very Moorish.
Yeah.
It's very Moorish.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about that? Now, it does have a distinctive smell, and that could be the cream, it could be the dairy, it could be the chocolate. It's not sweet, and it's not smoky. I will say that I've had some, like the Bacanora one that I was discussing earlier, will have a little bit of smoke on it, which is not bad. It actually adds an extra layer of the complexity to a cream or a Bacanora. But
so I'm not too keen. If I have chocolate, it tends to be a dark chocolate. I like the 90, 100% stuff. Right. Obviously, you can't do that with this.
No.
But this is it is so smooth. There's no rasp, but there's nothing getting at you. There's nothing. It doesn't taste forced.
Well, it doesn't taste bitter.
No, they've got some really good ingredients, and I mean, I don't know how many times they tried to get it to this standard, but that's like,
I would love to find out how many recipes they went through before they got this. You know what I mean? Because it's trial and error until you get it right. And I tell you what, this is our take on the tequila chocolate cream. But hang on, we're going to go through the other two varietals, the other two expressions I have. But it's Mis Amigos. If you folks are watching us on the YouTube channel and you've had it by now, tell us what you're doing with it. If you're just serving it neat on ice, they do recommend that you refrigerate after opening, as most liqueurs will. I don't know how long the shelf life is. It's not telling us on this label. I would imagine that in the US, it would give you a shelf life. There are certain stipulations they got to meet to be considered, but they are a tequila liqueur. And as we go through the other expressions, I think Philippe is going to fill us in on why, because you got the reason why, but we'll save that for the next expression. That's our take. Brand of Promise nominee. It's really awesome. It's, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm happy with it. And it's a good, there's a big vacuum right now for liqueurs and flavored tequilas that aren't so fruity, but stuff that you could put in your coffee or have after dessert. Maybe you don't want something really high alcohol, or you want something with an espresso or whatever. I think that there's a big need for this right now. So got a lot of promise as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, that's our take, folks. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, share it with all your other Tequila Liqueur buddies. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely, my friends.